So when you start JavaFX and we're using IntelliJ, the best IDE ever, this is what you usually get. You get 4 files and this nonsense. So what are they? The first one, the hello application, is your application. That's what you run. You don't usually do a whole lot of stuff in there besides change the window size and stuff. The second one is your what's called a controller, and it's just basically a file where you try and put all your functions. That's where you actually put your functions in, at least most of them. Then your third file, the hello view.fxml, is where you do all your designing work, but it's not Java. It's, kind of an HTML tag format, so that's why it's called FXML. And then your pom-pom file, that's where you get all your dependencies. You can add dependencies, and reload them and stuff. And make sure, again, you got your language level set right there. And then click your, Maven reload sync button thing. I tried downloading the new Open JDK 23, and for some reason, the language level got set at 8 there. So do that. That's usually the problem, I guess. That's the only thing I had to change, and then just reload and sync your project, and you should be able to, run this stuff. Okay, so the first thing we're going to change is the window size, and that's this second line right here that I have the comment next to, and it's width, height in pixels. And then the line after that, you can set your window title, what it says at the top left on the title bar thing, and just make sure you have that in quotes. Otherwise, I'm pretty sure it's not going to work. And that's kind of the only thing you can change on this page, so that's why we're doing it. And if you click play now, you should have well, in my case, a really wide window that's really short. And it says a very cool program, because that's what it is. And we're rolling. All right. So next, go to your FXML file, and you'll see a lot of the stuff at the top has import at the beginning, and that really doesn't have anything to do with the actual window. It's just, kind of like a dependency. So where your window actually starts is at the VBox word. Every window in JavaFX needs something called a container. So you have VBox, HBox, vertical box, horizontal box, and these other things called anchor windows or anchor boxes, anchor panes. That's what they are. So the first thing, you can go ahead and delete that silly line with the padding in it, those 3 lines in the middle. You don't need that at all. It's telling the window how much padding you want on the side of it. And you're going to do that all in the scene builder anyway, so get that out of there. So to change the background color of something, go into the tag that you want to change the color on, and you always type in style equals, and then it's actually pretty much exactly the same as CSS. Well, it is CSS actually. And the only thing that's different is most of the stuff, all of the stuff has -fx- in front of it, and some things are named differently, but a lot of it's actually exactly the same, which is one reason I love JavaFX. And then you type in your hash color code, and then make sure you get a semicolon after all your CSS, because that's what you do. And then go back to your app Java. When you click play now, you should have a new window color. It's great. It's so easy. And eventually you can actually add a separate CSS file, so you don't have to put it all in, each tag. But, we'll save that for later, because I just want to go over the basic stuff right now. And before we keep going, make sure you know where these files actually are. They're all in your SRC folder. One, your view file is in the resources, your FXML file. And then the other ones are in your Java folder, at the lowest part of it. And then your pom-pom is down here. So those are your 4 files in case you need to find them again. All right, so the next thing we're going to do, you can't even see the words, so we're going to do the same thing. Type in style equals, and then for text, it's not actually color, like in CSS, you just type in color for text. It's FX text fill. We're going to type in FFF, FFF, or you can just type in white, you know. I like to do hashtags for everything though. And then this one is the same. To make it bold, we're going to do FX font weight bold score. And then FX font size, see, that's the same. A lot of it is the same, but just there's a few that are different. And so now we should have bold white text. When you click the button, hello, banger. Then one more thing we can do, we can change the background color of the button. It's the same tag as the first part. And then I just have this random blue color that I copied. I didn't notice it first too. I got an underscore after background. Make sure that's a dash. I'll fix it in a bit. And then I just did the same thing with the text on the button. And you can make it on multiple lines too. It doesn't really matter. So it's easier to read and stuff. So now if you got everything typed in just right, you should have something that looks like this. With the blue button, nice bold white text, or the color of your choice, of course. And that's kind of all there is to basic styling. You know, we're going to be using the scene builder later, so it'll be a lot easier. And we're, you know, even use a CSS file so it doesn't get all confusing and hard to read and stuff. And then one last thing we could do, we can change what the words actually say. That's something pretty easy. So go into your controller, and the way this is set up, you got to keep everything kind of inside the hello controller thing. And then you have to have a variable for anything you want to change, and then you can use a function to change that variable. And you can either have this @fxml thing above it, or you can make the variable or the function public instead of private. And that's what I like to do because it just makes it easier to read. And, you know, it does the same thing, to be quite honest. I still don't really understand public and private completely, but it works. So I'm sure it's pretty obvious. To change the text, you just change where it says welcome to JavaFX to whatever you want it to say. And when you click the button, it'll say what you typed in. Just make sure you have it in quotes. And that's just about everything I wanted to cover in the basic stuff. And for the next video, we're actually going to get into the scene builder. It just really helps knowing what's going on, you know, at a very basic level before you start using that. So with a bit of luck, you got your simple Java window and your colors going. And next time we'll get into that. And I'll do my best to not take 3 weeks this time. And, you know, thanks for stopping by. I'll see you next time.